Okay, I've got the edge of this bulkhead filled in with construction adhesive, and I got one coat of paint on there, and I hosed down the rest of the area here on the sides, and after it dries, probably for a day, I'll go ahead and paint them as well. I picked up these vent covers to put in this area here, but the problem is it's right behind this wheel well, and so there's going to be a lot of moisture and dust kicked up, you know, either when it rains or when it doesn't rain. So I'm going to go with the louvers, like I believe I mentioned earlier. Got these at the big box store, and I'm going to put it inside of the door, and it's going to sit flush. This is the opening size that it needs to be here, but to make this area stronger, what I'm going to do is cut it an inch shorter all the way around, and then I'll fold these edges back around so that the metal behind here will be twice as thick if you know, when I want to put in hardware. So the next step is to put on my safety goggles and hearing protection and do some grinding. Okay, the hole's cut. Now what I need to do is bend the top and the bottom over with these pliers that are designed for bending sheet metal. You just put them on here and you give it a little tiny bend, then you move it over and do the same, and move it over, do the same, and you keep up this process until you can get a hammer and some kind of a backing material to flatten it out completely against itself. And then once this is bent up all the way, I can make the cuts for the sides and then bend the sides in. Okay, I'm running into a little bit of a problem here because the handles of my wrench, or the pliers that are made for bending the sheet metal, is running into the panel behind it. So another tool that you can use is an adjustable open-end wrench. It doesn't do quite as neat of a job, but this area is not going to be seen anyway. So you just do a little bit at a time and just keep moving down. And then you reach a point where a hammer can be used relatively effectively because the crease is already established. So at this point, I think it's over far enough where I can start using a pair of large pliers to squeeze these together at this point, or use a metal hammer. Okay, these can be squeezed together now with a pair of pliers, just going a little bit at a time. And then I'll notch out these sides and then rebend them. Okay, here's it. The vent is installed and painted. I used stainless steel pop rivets. They're not real easy to drill out or hammer off, you know, with a chisel. So I think they'll be good enough. And what I could do is also attach some fasteners in between the sheet metal of the door and the side of the vent, because you wouldn't be able to get at those from the outside. But after the Nevada sun hits that for a while, it'll tend to blend right in. I haven't made a final decision on the top vent. There's not a lot of room up here. I don't know if a regular RV vent will fit in there. I'll have to see if I can put one on top and see what it looks like. But they also make vents for refrigerators, you know, propane refrigerators. So if I put 3 or 4 of them up there, that might be enough. Okay, it's break time.